Hello everyone, Evasion here and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the updated Covenant Soulbinds for patch 9.1, which were just released earlier this week on PTR. Hopping straight into it, they have increased the amount of available traits in the Soulbind trees in all of the Covenants, which you can see are outlined by the gold border. These improved conduit slots will be unlocked at a later renown level. That's the other thing as well. There is now 80 renown levels, up from 40, and that is how on PTR these are actually already all unlocked. But the way you will unlock these is you will go to the end of your tree via getting 30 renown, or depending on your tree, you know, maybe a different amount of renown, and then you will unlock these traits by doing the new campaign that has been added, which there is going to be 7 more chapters for Covenant campaign. And doing so will unlock these traits. So basically what we're going to do now is go through the traits of all the Soulbinds across all 4 of the Covenants, and let's get straight to it. Also, one other thing, just in case you're curious, the renown required to beat the entire campaign and unlock all of your initial Soulbinds will be around level 59. And then once you go beyond 59 and you get to 61 or higher, and working your way up towards 80, what that will do is start to unlock your enhanced conduit slots. Okay, hopping into Plague Advisor Merilith first, since we are already on a Necrolord character. After Ultimate Form, you will get a Potency slot, and then on the left, you will get a Snare. You will gain a ability when struck by a snare. You will drop a puddle that lasts for 10 seconds. Enemies that step in it will be slowed by 70% for 5 seconds. May only occur once every 60 seconds. And on the right side, you have the option of well above 80% health. 5% of damage taken is delayed and spread over 5 seconds. It's kind of decent, I guess, for slowing down some burst damage. Leading into the final thing, Kevin's Oozling. Serrated Bone Spike summons Kevin's Oozling to fight alongside you for 10 seconds. His attacks cause your enemies to take 2% additional damage from you, and he periodically grants your allies an absorb shield that absorbs 212 damage. So nothing too crazy. We're gonna hop into Emini here. Emini? I don't know if I say that right. After you get the final row of Emini here, you also start off with a Potency Conduit. Looks like there will be heavy emphasis on having 3 Potency Conduits as a PvE option, or sometimes in PvP. Soul Sloth. I'm probably not gonna say some of these because I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation pretty horribly. After standing still for 5 seconds, the next time you move and nearby allies gain 20% increased movement speed for 10 seconds. This one's actually kind of cool. I could see that being good on very certain classes. The first thing that comes to mind when I think of standing still for 5 seconds is when you're crowd controlled. Maybe you're in a stun or something and you come out, you get some movement speed. For those of you that are here, maybe new to the channel, a lot of my views on things I talk about will mostly be from a PvP perspective. Resilient Stitching here, well above 90% health. You gain a shield that absorbs 7,400 magic damage for 1 second. This seems actually pretty insane. This effect can only occur once every 1 minute, but regardless, that seems pretty nice. Then there's also, of course, another Endurance or Finesse Conduit. The last thing, though, Fleshcraft covers you in 3 pustules per 1 second channeled. Taking damage or being healed pops a pustule, dealing 1,018 nature damage to nearby enemies and healing nearby allies for 1,500 split between them. It's kind of an interesting effect. Moving on, though, Bonesmith Hairmere. After you finish the row here, of course, you get a Potency again. And then this thing I actually believe will be very powerful. Carver's Eye, damaging an enemy above 90% health, grants you 152 mastery for 5 seconds, up to 5 stacks. If this works on pets and you can do something like a Fan of Knives as a rogue, theoretically this is a 50% uptime. If there's pets constantly available, this seems like it would get nerfed in PvP. That could provide a lot of mastery to classes that are especially mastery driven. Waking Bone Breastplate. When 3 or more enemies are nearby, your maximum health is increased by 5%. This effect lingers for 5 seconds. Nothing too crazy, completely outclassed by the Carver's Eye on the other side. And the very last thing in this tree, Mnemonic Equipment. When you damage an enemy that's below 35% health, 3% of the damage done is repeated over 5 seconds. This is just a small throughput increase. Anyway, that's pretty much all there is for Necrolord. We're going to move on to the next Covenant. Let's hop over to Venthyr. Alright, starting off with Nadjia the Misblade. The first new trait after that additional Potency Conduit is called Sinful Preservation. Health potions and health stones grant you an absorb shield equal to 50% of the amount healed. busted. On the other side, we have Nimble Steps. Enemies within 8 yards are slowed by 10%, and if you fall below 35% health, enemies within 8 yards are rooted for 4 seconds. It says seconds twice. 4 seconds. It's a mistake. Then at the end of the tree here, we have Fatal Flaw. When the haste effect from Euphoria ends, gain 10 seconds. They did it again. It's a bug right now. 10 seconds of either 20% increased critical strike, chance, or versatility, whichever you currently have more of. This is actually very insane for assassination rogues who are still playing Venthyr. Although I do believe that Necrolord is going to be the play. 20% versatility. Pretty much every PvP player is going to gain 20% verse after that effect ends. Now, it is kind of a random proc, and it does take a little bit to, wind up there. However, with this happening off of the effect of another proc, the chance that you actually get to utilize one of the two effects is quite high. Moving into Theotar the Mad Duke, we have on the left side here, it's always tea time. When Soothing Shade activates, the effect Tubbins and Grubbins each offer you a cup of tea, healing you for 380 health every 1 second, and reducing damage taken by 5% while standing in the shaded area. I don't think this one's all that good. And on the other side, life is but an appetizer. While you are well fed, you gain 60 speed and 60 avoidance. This is very Garbo, very Garbo. And the end of the tree here, party favors. Once per day, you can speak with Theotar and Sinfall to obtain the Mad Duke's Tea, which increases your agility by 3%, or your haste by 3%, or your crit chance by 3%, or your versatility by 3% for 1 hour. But it's once per day. Lots of things we don't know yet. This is very early stages on PTR as well, so any of this stuff can change, of course. And we have Regenerative Stone Skin. Any overhealing done to you will heal for an additional 15% of the overhealing amount over 6 seconds. That's actually kind of a very powerful effect. The thing that comes to mind with this is that warriors like to play this Soulbind when playing into Rogue Mage in 2s, and this could potentially be a very good effect to have. Intimidation tactics. While below 50% health, Dwarf Shadows cools down 50% faster. That's interesting. That's kind of an interesting effect, actually. I kind of like stuff like this. But the fact that it's for Dwarf Shadows doesn't really make it all that useful. At the end of this tree here, we have Battlefield Presence. Each nearby enemy trembles at your presence, increasing your damage and healing done by 1% and reducing damage taken by 1% up to a maximum of 3 enemies. It's kind of cool. That's pretty much all there is here for Venthyr, and we're going to hop over now to the Night Fae. Alright, here we are on Night Fae. Also, I have a fully completed Night Fae tree for once, mostly because it is actually unlocked on the PTR, but I've done the actual campaign on my Warlock. Because Warlocks have not had to switch their Covenant every single patch that we've had, or update. So anyway, we're on Naya here, and Called Shot. When you critically strike, you gain 20% movement speed for 5 seconds. May only occur once every 10 seconds. Survivors rally on the other side. When you fall below 50% health, you regain 20% of your health over 10 seconds and receive 5% additional healing from other spells and abilities. May only occur once every 60 seconds. This actually seemed really insane, but I think I will enjoy this on my Warlock. Then for the end of this one, we have Bonded Hearts, gaining a stack of redirected anima from the Grove Invigoration, which is the first row thing here where you get the mastery stacks and the health increase. So it heals up to 5 nearby allies for 2% of their health. If any of the affected allies are of another Covenant, redirected anima's mastery and maximum health effects are increased by 50% for 5 seconds. Cunning Dreams, when you enter Soul Shape, slows enemies near your starting point by 50% for 6 seconds. I actually really think that this could be enjoyable to play with. Waking Dreams, when you take damage below 80% health, you gain a shield for 30% of the damage amount lasting 3 seconds. Dream Delver, which dealing damage or healing a target grants you 1% increased damage, healing to that target for 4 seconds up to 3%. Just another throughput increase. Moving on to Karain here. After the Potency Conduit, we have Vorkai Ambush. After interrupting or disorienting an enemy, they deal 5% less damage for 5 seconds. The fact that it happens after an interrupt makes it not that big of a deal, because you're already stopping, most likely, a lot of somebody's damage in that situation. Hunt's Exhilaration. When damaging an enemy or healing an ally within 8 yards, you gain 3% leech for 5 seconds. Wild Hunt Stratagem. When your damage or healing is enhanced by Wild Hunt tactics, which is the top of this tree. Just gives you like a damage increase and a healing increase on low targets. The next time you damage an enemy who is below 35% health, or heal an ally who is above 75% health, Wild Hunt Stratagem is activated to increase your damage and healing to such targets by 5% for 10 seconds. That's all there is to say here about the Night Fae, and we're going to move on to our final covenant now here, the Kyrian. Alright, here we are, starting things off with Pelagos. We have, I like to point out that my Paladin's also in the same situation. My Rogue's the only one with the scuffed Soulbinds at the moment because I've had to switch so many times. So we have Better Together during combat, moving within 3 yards of a party or raid member inspires both of you, increasing your mastery by 40 for 1 minute. That's kind of like having an extra gem. It's alright. Path of the Devoted, after recovering from a loss of control effect, you take 15% reduced damage. Click. And your movement speed cannot be reduced below 90% for 6 seconds. This seems... if this happens at the right time, this is pretty nice. Newfound Resolve, at any moment during combat, there is a low chance your doubt will manifest for 10 seconds. Directly facing your doubt will overcome it, granting 12% health and stamina for 15 seconds. I think everybody pretty much likes main stat at this point. Moving on to Clea. Spear of the Archon, movement speed increased by 6%, while out of combat gain 3% crit chance for 10 seconds after damaging an enemy above 90% health, so a small little throughput. Vial of Serenity reduces damage taken by 10% for 8 seconds, and its effects are also granted to your lowest health ally. That's not so bad. That's actually, you can control when that happens, so that's pretty good. Hopefully the game doesn't get, we've seen more throughput increases than we have defensive bonuses, I believe, so hopefully that's speaking well for the game. We want the game pace to stay faster. Your Valiant Strikes grant 0.25% critical strike chance per attack. When your Valiant Strikes heals an ally, you gain 5% crit chance for 12 seconds. Valiant Strikes is, of course, that top thing here for Clea. It's a little thing. So moving on to Mechanicos here, the final one. Spectrometer. Did they make up a word? Or is that actually a word that I don't know? Damaging or healing a target analyzes its merit over 15 seconds, which increases your damage or healing to it by 1%, increasing by an additional 1% every 3 seconds. Cannot start a new analysis until this one seems insane. I guess it's not that crazy, but it is definitely something. On the other side of that, we have Reactive Retrofitting. After taking physical damage or magic damage, gain a shield that absorbs damage equal to 8% of your maximum health for 10 seconds. Effusive Anima Accelerator. Divine Toll releases, this is for Paladin obviously, so this would be any ability you have here, your Kyrian Rogue ability. Your wall hacks as a hunter. Divine Toll releases a blast of overcharged anima at your target's location, dealing 5.3k arcane damage, split evenly between all targets over 8 seconds. Reduces the cooldown of Divine Toll by 4 seconds per affected enemy up to a maximum of 20 seconds. That's actually it's kind of good. Depends on your class though. But that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. If you did enjoy the video, please be sure to give the video a like. If we can hit 100 likes on this video, that would be really awesome. And also, I have a question for you guys. My Rogue viewers, are you going to be going Necrolord like myself for patch 9.1, or are you going to be playing a different Covenant? Let me know, and I will do my best to read all the comments, especially first after the video goes live. But until next time, like, comment, subscribe for more, and we'll see you guys in the next video.